What's up, captains? Welcome back to the other decks. My name's Casual Adobo, and today I wanted to do a quick video on some of the errata cards for OP01 Romance Dawn in the One Piece TCG. Now, for those of you who don't know, erratas are essentially corrections made onto cards for a number of reasons, whether there's a weird translation issue or words added to clarify the intention of an ability. But essentially, erratas are important because sometimes you might have some cards that are from the pre-errata printing, right? And actually, that is the case for the One Piece TCG. You might have seen some different pictures of, or even seen it in your polls, of Nami, page 1, and even the illustrious 8-cost Kid. So I just want to make a quick video going over those erratas and making sure that you knew what was going on. That way, when you go into your locals or even tournaments, right, you know what the intended ability is supposed to be. Now, I will say they errated a bunch more cards, but really that was just including the phrase up to on a lot of like search abilities or looking abilities, right? So for the most part, those are not game-changing erratas. The ones I'm going to be talking about today are game-changing erratas. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Alright, so the first one I do want to talk about is Nami here. So all of the images I'm going to be showing are the official post-errata versions. These are the correct versions of the cards. So if you want to, like, I don't know, save this in your bookmarks on your web browser, feel free to do so. Send it to your friends if you want, just so that everyone's kind of on the same page. The other thing I would recommend is actually going to the One Piece card game website. It is under their topics under errata. If you want, save it onto your smartphone, right? At least a link to this so that you have the resource available. But anyway, OP01 016 Nami ability should read: look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type card other than Nami, and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So there are 2 key changes here. So one, the inclusion of reveal up to, which is what I said earlier. But the biggest one is that they actually took out the word character type card and then just made a general 2 card, right? So the way it read previously, it made it seem like you could only grab character cards, but that wasn't the intention of the card, right? This is meant to be a searcher for all your Straw Hat Crew cards, including event cards like Jet Pistol. So the TLDR is, play this card, find any Straw Hat card you want. Next up, OP01 051 Eustace Captain Kid. So, Dawn ×1 on your opponent's turn. If this character is rested, your opponent cannot attack any card other than the character Eustace Captain Kid. In an activate main, once per turn, you may rest this character, play up to 1 character card with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. So the biggest change here was actually the inclusion of the phrase any card in cannot attack any card other than the character Eustace Captain Kid. Because previously it was kind of unclear whether or not this ability protected you and your leader from your opponent's attacks, right? But now it has sort of specified it can't attack any other card, right? No characters, no leaders, other than character Eustace Captain Kid. So really, this clarifies the ability to what it was intended to be, which is a really strong ability. And then additionally, we do have the play up to errata once again, but like I said, that's less game changing. Essentially, all of that like up to thing is that you can choose to not do it. All right, the last one I want to point out, and this one's actually kind of wild, OP01 112 page 1. Like, if you've pulled any of them and if you've seen like my box opening, which you can check out here, I've pulled a couple of these. There are some versions, physical copies of the card, that says that this is an on-play ability, when in reality it is an activate main ability, because on-play just wouldn't make sense. So what it's supposed to read is activate main once per turn, Dawn -1. You may return the specified number of Dawn cards from your field to your deck, Dawn deck I mean. This character can also attack your opponent's active characters during this turn. So as you can see, this thing does not have rush, and so people were confused when they saw the on-play ability because they were like, oh, does it have like a weird form of rush? No, that's not how it's supposed to be. It is supposed to be an activate main ability. So you would play this, wait a turn, and then on your next turn, you can Dawn -1, and now it can attack active characters. So yeah, this is honestly the biggest one, just because it is a whole different keyword, whole different activation. And that is it for the errata cards that I wanted to cover in OP01. Luckily, fortunately, there is actual like prints of these circulating around. So it'll just depend on what type of box you got. But there are correct versions that have been printed and are available out there in the world. And while I'm not like totally huge in the sort of misprint world, right? And I wouldn't even call the Nami and the Kid misprints. The page 1 actually might genuinely just be a misprint, right? So will that see any value? I'm not gonna like speculate on that. That's not the type of channel I am. But it is kind of interesting when I found out that a whole keyword was just incorrectly printed. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. And if you found it useful, share it with your friends, share it with your fellow One Piece players, your locals, right? Just because knowing the abilities of these cards is going to be super important, especially as more new players come into the game. And, you know, rightfully so, they're relying on their ability to read the card to know its ability. And if they don't have the right card in front of them, then obviously they're not going to play the right effect. So, you know, also, as a word for anyone who is playing against a new player who might not know all of these abilities, be kind. Definitely want to foster an environment of teaching, especially as we are getting into the early parts of this game. And also, if you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you're going to enjoy this next one over here, so go ahead, check it out. And thank you so much for watching, really appreciate it. And captains, remember, build what you like, play what you love, and I'll catch you in the next video.